In what ways is your media product used, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? In many ways, our media product is both similar and different from the thrillers we analysed, as we used our analyses to help us develop our ideas for our own thriller. For example, we used a linear narrative, as did the thrillers we analysed, because we decided it would be easier to portray our narrative in this way. Otherwise, choosing a non-linear or circular narrative may be confusing for our audience and more difficult for us to show. Our thriller is similar to the others that we analysed in that we use concealment and protraction in order to demonstrate tension and to create audience interest. We conceal the identity of the thriller and use protraction in that we delay the hero discovering where the victim is being held. Throughout the sequence, we assume that he's running towards where she's being held, but as he bursts into the empty room, we understand that he hasn't found her. We originally decided to make a psychological thriller, as we thought that psychological thrillers would be most popular with our target audience due to the feedback we received from our original questionnaire. However, we also wanted to create something fast-paced, although this would usually fall under the action genre. In creating our thriller, we tried to incorporate elements of both subgenres. We incorporated action in that we had our hero running through the streets, and psychological in that we used CCTV style footage to imply that the killer is watching the victim and controlling the hero through this. We tried to follow as many codes and conventions of thrillers as we could, particularly the Transform City convention, as this was simple to include within our narrative. Mazes and Labyrinths convention was another that we thought would fit well into our thriller. Our hero would literally be running through the streets trying to find his daughter, and figuratively it fits into the narrative of our film, as throughout the plot the characters uncover twists and dead ends in their search to find the girl. We used heroic romance in that an ordinary person, our protagonist, must adapt to extraordinary circumstances in order to find his daughter. We chose to show some shots of the killer entering the building at the beginning of our thriller, which is not something most of the other thrillers did. We decided to do this as we wanted to add more mystery or tension to our thriller. We thought that in this way we could cause the audience to associate the killer with the man running and the girl in the room, as the killer was the reason behind these things. We did, however, choose to follow the convention of having a male killer rather than a female. We decided this as it was more traditional in a thriller for a male killer, and we chose to conform to the expectations of our target audience. We originally planned to film on 3 occasions, once in the town centre to film the shots of our hero running outside, once at Evan's house to film the shots of our hero running inside of the building, and also the shots of the girl in the room, and then once outside of Evan's house to film the shots of the killer, although we actually filmed on more occasions of this because of time restrictions for our actors. We wanted to use high-angle shots to film the girl in the room, as we would be able to use these as CCTV footage, and we wanted to use the canting angle shots of the killer and of the man running in order to create a sense of unease within the audience, and to imply that something was wrong. I think that our opening sequence is successful as a thriller, as I believe we managed to create tension and suspense through the part of the sequence where our hero is running through the streets. It is clear that he's running quickly and towards something, therefore building tension through the fact that the audience aren't aware of his destination. Tension is also created through the part of our thriller when our hero runs into the room to find it empty, as we cut all non-diegetic sounds to put emphasis on the scene, and the audience were expecting him to find the girl. This is one of the ways we've used the convention of concealment and protection to good effect, as we delayed the expected action, which was that the girl would be in the room. That we also used shots of the girl in the room intermittently throughout the sequence is also how we made our opening successful, as this keeps the audience interest. Therefore, I think that our opening is a good example of an opening for a thriller. An analysis of our finished thriller can be found in section 12 of my blog.